Strobe Studios presents Michael Helgens and Greg Kilberger in The Watson Files. Coming to you from the ever-impressive Strobe Studios in the heart of America, this is Craig Dahlen. And now, let's join the doctor and see what story he has for us today.
Come in. Punctual as usual, Mr. Dahlen.
Hello, doctor. I'm glad to see you. What's going on here?
The caterers are just getting ready for the reception.
A wedding reception?
That's right.
Who's getting married?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Didn't you get the invitation?
No.
Well, Craig, I'm getting married, of course.
You are?
No.
I'm confused.
I imagine that you are. I did send you an invitation, but this wedding is for my niece, Jenny.
Oh, you're marrying your niece?
No, just poking a little fun. Jenny is the one getting married.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that she had met someone.
Well, yes, after graduation, she met a nice young man by the name of Nelson Moriarty.
Wasn't it Professor Moriarty that your grandparents did in at Reichenbach Falls?
You know, I think you're right. Small world, I guess. I'm sure they're not related.
I hope not. That could only be disastrous.
Indeed. Well, come into the sitting room and I'll tell you the story that I've worked up for you.
Thank you.
Can I get you something to drink?
Sure, I'd take some of that boxed wine if you still have it.
I might have some around here somewhere. Let me take a look. No, I hope a beer will be okay. Heineken all right?
Yeah, that's actually my favorite.
Excellent. Well, as you may recall, I mentioned to you that Holmes had asked me to meet him at a cemetery.
I do remember you mentioning that.
I've also said that Holmes isn't happy unless there's a body somewhere nearby. So as you can imagine, cemeteries make him giddy with delight.
Yeah, that's sort of an odd reaction.
Yes, well, Holmes would probably prefer eccentric, but since he's not here, odd is just fine. Anyway, when I got there, Holmes was talking to the groundskeeper and Officer Weathers. Apparently, someone had been lurking around late at night.
So you saw some guy lurking around in the dock and you think that he came up out of the ground?
Yes, that's right. I usually keep my shotgun loaded, you know, in case of zombies. But I had it apart doing my weekly inspection to make sure that it would fire true.
Pity that it was not ready when you needed it. Zombies are very serious business.
Holmes, don't tell me that you believe in zombies now, too.
There are many well-documented cases of such things, Watson, but I've never seen one up close, so my verdict is still undecided.
Thank God you're here, Dr. Watson. These two are going to drive me to the grave myself.
We still have a few pots left, over by the fence. They get a nice view of the sunset. You'd better snatch one up fast. They seem to be going quickly.
Not if people are getting up out of them.
Hey, you're right. Do you think that we can resell them if people vacate the premises?
I don't see why not.
Huh. In that case, if it weren't for all the brain-eating stench of the grave stuff, I might actually like dead people.
You do have a permit for that weapon, right?
Sure. Yes, officer. I'm a card-carrying member of the NRA, too.
I'll bet you are.
So you brought me out here to help you find a dead person that went missing, and you think that they might be a zombie.
On the contrary, Watson, that is a separate mystery altogether. I asked you here because we have too many bodies.
It's true. Usually graves, except for the mausoleums, are one per customer.
And when the groundskeeper checked the area where this so-called zombie was living, he found an open grave with a body in it.
So the zombie was in the grave with someone else?
No, Watson, they intended to pour the cement liner tomorrow. The zombie did a poor job of hiding one of his victims.
Oh, so he was trying to hide the body so that when they buried the person that belonged there, no one would ever find his victim.
Exactly. Now, we just need to figure out who the zombie is and where he's gotten off to so we can put him in jail for murder.
That pretty much sums it up. Any help you two can provide would be much appreciated.
I'd like to see the grave and the victim now, if you don't mind.
Sure. Just a wee bit. I need to put my gun back together again in case there's another zombie attack.
I do have my revolver.
I'd really feel a lot better if Annie were along with us, though.
Very well. Get your gun, Annie. And Officer Weathers, Watson and I will make our way to the grave. I trust you know where it is, Max.
Sure, follow me.
So, you're really buying this zombie thing?
If it really is a zombie, it'll be a burden on the taxpayers when we catch him.
How's that?
Imagine giving life in prison to someone who's already dead. I'm not sure if they'd have to just let him go or make a whole new set of rules. And then there's the matter of food.
You have to feed zombies?
I've only paid a little attention to zombie stories, but they seem to subsist on human brains. I'm not sure you'd be able to convince anyone to give themselves up for zombie chow.
Well, you know, they've made some advancement in growing organs. It couldn't be that hard to grow a brain if you don't intend to actually use it.
Fair point, Doctor. We could start a brain farm. I'm sure there's quite a killing to be made in that business.
Sure, but you'd have to be careful.
Why's that?
It'd be a shame to make too many and have some of them spoil before they could get eaten.
Ah, yes, I suppose a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Quite clever, Watson.
Well said, Holmes.
You two are giving me a headache.
If you're having some sort of aneurysm and die out here, may we use your brain as zombie bait?
Holmes, someday you really are going to be the death of me.
It was a perfectly reasonable question.
This is the grave, I presume.
Yeah, the medical examiner hasn't arrived yet, so the girl is still down there.
Shine your light down there, Weathers, and I'll just have a look before they come to tramp about and destroy the important evidence.
Sure, just be careful not to disturb anything.
You're actually going in there?
Of course, Watson. How else will I get a closer look? My magnifying glass is positively useless at this distance.
Ah, right. How silly of me. Do you see something?
Yes, but I'm going to need your help, Watson.
I'm not getting in there.
Weathers?
What is it you need?
There seems to be something tucked under the girl, but I can't decide what it is without getting it out. Also, I can't really see her face as it's covered with dirt. I need one of you to lift her up while I retrieve the object and get a look at her.
You really should wait for the ME to arrive.
Nonsense. Dr. Samuelson will understand.
Well, I can't help you. I'll lose my job.
That leaves just you, Watson.
Did you find her?
Yeah, well, it really wasn't like hide and seek, and she doesn't have any reason to move around.
Oh, all right.
There's a good man.
Let's just be quick about this. I didn't bring any gloves with me.
Here.
You're a lifesaver, Max.
Don't mention it, but you should both wear them.
Look at her wrists, Watson. It looks like either she's killed herself or someone wanted to make it look like suicide. She's so young. All right, you lift her up a bit and... Watson, be careful.
Are you two all right down there?
I'm sure they're fine. What are you shooting at?
I thought I saw something moving. I think maybe it was just a tree, though.
Give me that gun. What's the problem? I was a little distracted.
Her head. The top has been removed.
It would appear that her brain was taken as well.
Oh, great. That's just what I need.
I'd really like Annie back, though. If you don't mind.
Fine, but if you shoot it at shadows again, I'm going to take it away for good.
Oh, thank you. That's fair enough.
All right, you two get out of there. You've done enough digging around.
Just one more thing.
What?
Before Dr. Watson dropped the poor girl, I was able to retrieve the object that was sticking out from underneath her.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
It appears to be part of a business card. I can make out the word laboratory and Frankenstein and part of a number.
You have got to be joking.
While the irony is not wasted on me, I'm afraid that I'm not. Watson and I will look into this while you look after the girl and wait for your police pals to arrive.
I think that'd be best. They wouldn't believe me if I told them about it anyway.
You're going to remove evidence from a crime scene?
Come, Watson, there's work to be done.
Holmes, you could get Max in a lot of trouble.
Only if we get caught, Watson, and we'll not. I'm at least smarter than what passes for a detective in Max's precinct. Our actions will go unnoticed.
If you say so. So, where are we going?
To find Frankenstein.
Yes, and how are we going to do that?
Well, we have a name and what appears to be part of a phone number. I suppose we could dial random area codes and prefixes until we get the right one.
Isn't there a better way?
Of course.
And are you going to tell me what it is, or am I expected to guess?
Ah, you didn't ask. We can use the internets.
The internet?
Yes. I'm not really very good at it, but I think I can manage this one small task.
Holmes, I can probably do that on my phone.
The internets are on your phone?
Yes.
How do they fit?
Just give me the card.
All right, here you go.
Let's see. FRANKENSTEIN. And I suppose we'll add the number 4775. And send.
Does it take long?
No, it should be. Here we are. Wilburton Cryogenics. It's over on Chamber Drive. Says it's run by Dr. Vincent Frankenstein. What are the odds? Oh, and the whole phone number is here. Should I call it?
And ask to be frozen?
I've never really been an on-the-rocks kind of guy. I guess we need a cover story to drop in on them, though.
Indeed we do, and I think I know just the thing. Have your acting skills improved, Watson?
It's been a while since I've been on stage, but I suppose it depends on what you had in mind.
I thought we'd go with the old repairman and his assistant routine.
I'm sure I can pull that off. Should we stop at the hardware store first?
The hardware store? Ah, to get tools for the disguises.
No, usually when the villagers go to see Dr. Frankenstein, they take pitchforks.
Do you think we'll need them?
Never mind. Let's say I meant to get tools for the disguises.
Ah, well, that won't be necessary. I have a storage unit not far from here where I store a few things, including a nice selection of disguises.
As long as we don't find any meat or dead people inside, I'm all right with that.
No, there's just the narwhal. That was a fairly unfortunate circumstance, though. It does happen to be the very same locker.
Really?
Yes. After we solved the case, the owner offered me a steep discount, and I couldn't pass up the deal.
I guess he figured no one else would want it.
Others do tend to be bothered by such things, but honestly, once I cleaned it up a bit, you could hardly notice the smell.
Right.
You sure this is the place, honey?
Sure is, Bert. The work order says there's some kind of cooling problem.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Yeah. We got a work order to come and take a look at some kind of cooling tank. If you just show us where the broken one is, we'll see if we can get it up and running again.
I wasn't aware of a broken tank, but that sounds serious. Will you be able to tell which one it is by looking at it?
My guess is it'll be the one that isn't keeping things cold.
Oh, that would be very bad indeed. Come with me.
No, not this one.
Maybe it's this one over here.
No, Bert, I don't think so.
Well, it's got to be around here somewhere.
This is definitely the one. We won't be long. You can just go about your business, ma'am, and we'll be sure to let you know.
You sure I can leave you alone?
Don't think nothing of it, miss. We are professionals.
Oh, that makes me feel much better. I'll just be at my desk. Let me know if you need anything.
Much obliged, ma'am.
All right, did you see something?
Yes. Have a look at the person in this tube here.
Isn't that the same girl that was in the grave?
I don't think so. Her brains appear to be intact, not to mention her state of suspended animation.
There isn't much evidence to support the theory behind all this cryogenic stuff, Holmes.
Should I become afflicted with an incurable ailment, I should not be adverse to giving it a try, though.
Really?
The world needs me, Watson. I'm not much use dead.
Nor are you much use as a popsicle.
But at least this way there would be some chance of my return.
I suppose. This girl must be an identical twin to the girl that we saw earlier.
Which makes this place very interesting indeed. I should like to have a word or two with Dr. Frankenstein.
I think we can arrange for that.
Ah, good. For starters, can you tell me why you only froze one of your daughters?
What?
I only have one daughter.
Unless this is also a cloning facility, I do not believe that you're telling the truth.
How did you know that this is his daughter?
Honestly, Watson, read the nameplate at the base.
Victoria Frankenstein. Oh, well, that makes sense then.
You can check the public records. My wife, may she rest in peace, bore only one child before she died during the birth.
That would be interesting, but if that is the case, then why is there a grave for your cryogenically frozen daughter dug at the cemetery?
Holmes, it wasn't for his daughter. I thought you said that somebody was hoping to hide the body.
I only caught a glimpse of the first name on the headstone in Weather's flashlight. It was Victoria. It didn't seem important until now.
I see, but I still don't understand.
Dr. Frankenstein, the game is up. You've been found out. You had 2 daughters, and one of them is ill, so you froze her in your lab. You've been trying to find a way to save her, and finally, with the death of her twin, whom you have kept secret through some great effort, I'm sure, you saw a way to make your daughter better.
Is that why he took her brain?
You cannot prove anything.
There is, my dear Dr. Frankenstein, a process by which everything that I have said can be shown to be true. We'll simply test the deceased girl's blood against yours and the presently iced Miss Frankenstein.
You cannot. There are no samples available. You'd have to unfreeze her for that.
As Dr. Watson so aptly pointed out, there is not much evidence to suggest that the cryogenics process works. I'm sure a judge would sign the order to unfreeze her in the pursuit of her sister's killer.
But she's alive! She's alive, I tell you! You cannot kill her. She was the only one who ever meant anything to me. My other daughter was worthless and attempted to squander away her life with a knife to her wrists. But I caught her, and I took what I needed to help my precious Victoria to live her life again.
You were going to switch their brains?
You are not a well man, Dr. Frankenstein. We can get you help. You will have to tell the truth going forward, but if you do, I promise that I will help you keep your daughter safe.
You do not understand. I had to kill Vanessa. We are nearly bankrupt with the cost of keeping Victoria frozen, and my company would have to take her out soon. That is why I purchased the grave. They were going to make me unfreeze her tomorrow. I caught Vanessa trying to kill herself with a knife, but she was doing it wrong. It was no great task to show her the right way and to help her make the cuts deep.
You are a monster.
Quite right, Watson. So, you were going to try to revive Veronica tonight?
Yes, that's right. But then you showed up, and now all is lost.
Not all, Doctor. If you do as I say and turn yourself over to the police, then I'm sure we can arrange for your daughter to be taken care of.
Thank you, thank you. I do not know what I would do without you. You have been a tremendous relief to my conscience.
All right, come along then. We'll take you to the police station. Max will be relieved to know that we caught his zombie.
I could show you how to make one of those if you like.
Really?
No, not really. But, well, I'm Dr. Frankenstein. I'm supposed to know about those kinds of things, right?
So it turned out to be a man trying to save his daughter.
That's right, but to do so, it meant that he killed his perfectly alive and well daughter.
That's terrible. Now, what became of his frozen daughter?
After the doctor was convicted of murder, his company chose to unfreeze her and, at Holmes' request, gave her a proper burial. But only after filming her frozen, along with several pictures which were given to Dr. Frankenstein.
Well, that seems like an incredible act of kindness to bestow onto a murderer.
Indeed, but I think that Holmes saw that the doctor was mad and not really evil, and so he had some forgiveness for him.
Holmes is a pretty tough nut to crack.
Finally, someone who sees my point of view.
Indeed. So what story are you going to tell us about next week?
I'm not exactly sure, Craig, but I'm sure I'll find something rather exciting and perhaps a little humorous as well.
Well, that sounds like quite a lot of fun. I'll be looking forward to it. I had better leave you to finish the preparations for Jenny's wedding.
Indeed. She should be here any moment.
Send her my congratulations. I'll be sure to see her at the wedding.
I'll do that. Thanks for stopping by and to take my mind off the stress of the party.
It was my pleasure. See you next week, Dr. Watson. Tonight's Watson Files adventure was written by Michael Helgen and directed by Scott Strosahl. Spencer Holmes and Dr. Watson were played by Michael Helgens and Greg Kilberger. Additional voices were provided by Steve Rimpici and Beverly Mead. Until next week, this is Craig Dahlen saying good night from Strobe Studios. Sure, I'd take some of that boxed wine if you...
I can't even say it.
Hold on, I love that line. Okay. Sure, I'd take some of that boxed wine if you still have it. Now, let me do it again.
Ah, yes, I suppose a mind is a terror.
I couldn't even get it out. I was already laughing about the make a killing.
When you died right there, I lost it.
Oh, here we are. Perhaps you should drive on the right side of the road.
I tried.
I drive with a British accent.
I drive with a British accent, Watson. That's funny.
Since it's run by Dr. Vincent Frankenstein.
Stein.
Stein!
You twit.
Frankenstein! Stein! All right, I'm going to start this whole thing over. Says it's run by Dr. Vincent Frankenstein. Stein.
Stein, you twit.
Did it again.
Ah, to get tools for the disguises.
No, usually when the villagers go to see Dr. Frankenstein. Stein. Why do I do that? But only after filming her frozen along with several pictures which were given to Dr. Frankenstein. Frankenstein. But only after filming her frozen along with several pictures which were given to Dr. Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein. I can't believe I can't say Frankenstein. I've been watching too much Young Frankenstein. That's why.
All right, to the cryogenics lab then.
Dun, dun, dun.